Thank you, Linda. Accepting an award in the name of your father and from his daughter's hand is a great honor. And please give my best to Bill Sumner, too. Just a great man. Your dad, to borrow from Tom Wolfe, was truly a man in full. He was Sir Antony for a reason. Before he was a successful businessman and then a franchiser of think tanks around the globe, he was a warrior, an RAF pilot defending his island home and Western civilization against Nazism with every sortie. It's only fitting, then, that we lovers of liberty are celebrating tonight on a retired naval carrier. I mentioned to Brad a couple of weeks ago that this award really does bring my career full circle. I met Antony Fisher back in 1979. I was running errands for Jeff Bell, a former US Senate candidate, who was the new president of the then-named International Center for Economic Policy Studies. I was just a gopher, but Antony came out, introduced himself, and generously spent an hour of his time with me. After that, I went to graduate school at Berkeley, and in 1982 applied for a job at the newly named Manhattan Institute, where I spent the next 37 years of my professional life. It's a simple story, but a gratifying one. When one thinks of the Institute, my name doesn't usually come up. Outstanding talents like Heather McDonald and Peter Huber come to mind, as does a series of consequential books, most notably Losing Ground, policy revolutions like Fixing Broken Windows, and, as Linda mentioned, the best magazine on the urban scene, City Journal. Yes, please, Brian Anderson's here tonight. I have always seen myself primarily as an intellectual stock picker of talent and the facilitator of a stage of consequence for those standout talents. As Hayek taught us, the best thinking happens in a decentralized marketplace, and therefore it is the challenge of a think tank to find the best and leverage it. Like most behind-the-scenes directors, I have not always been easy to work with, and certainly not easy to live with. For this reason, I want to thank my wife, Kathy, from this podium, and from the bottom of my heart, for her patience, love, and support. And Linda, a few more words about your dad, the godfather to so many here tonight, and many more not here, but fighting the good fight all over this globe. We live in an age that likes to talk about the arc of history, which attributes the movement of history to impersonal forces and denigrates the contributions of individuals. We are taught, and when teaching fails, told to go with the flow and that resistance is futile. If history was not open to human agency that pushed against the progressive grain of history, we would not be here tonight. This battleship underneath us would never have been built, and we would either be speaking German or Russian. We are all historical and living footnotes, 500 groups in number and growing to your father's efforts, and fruits of a family tree of liberty. Antony would have served Hayek and his country well if the only thing he did was found the Institute of Economic Affairs and set the conditions for Margaret Thatcher's reign in England. Thankfully for the rest of us, Antony took Hayek's insight and brought it to a global scale. The very last words from Tocqueville's Democracy in America capture our common charge. The nations of our day cannot prevent the conditions of men from becoming equal, but it depends upon themselves whether the principle of equality leads them to servitude or freedom, to enlightenment or barbarism, to prosperity or misery. Fortunately, this social state and passion for equality of ours offers two roads. The road to serfdom is the one most traveled because it's easy, but it is marked by the unintended but necessary outcomes of servitude, barbarism, and misery. This is not our road. We will not go down that way. Everyone in this room stands in opposition to the leveling raw Peter to pay Paul form of equality that dominates our politics globally. But there is another, the road to liberty, one where the art of liberty educates and checks the nature of equality. This is a harder road less traveled, but it makes all the difference in the world and to the world. Everyone here stands in common defense of liberty, which when married to love and passion of equality properly understood, delivers freedom, enlightenment, and prosperity. Teaching this lesson in good times and bad is the responsibility of everyone here tonight. And so I would like to propose a toast to Antony Fisher and his enduring vision of freedom. Thank you, everyone.